Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. So in this video we're taking a look at an item which I have seen listed online several times by some other overseas retailers, but I hadn't heard anything about it from either Mattel officially or seen anything on YouTube or anything like that. And then I was going through a Target on my way somewhere, as you do when you're a Thomas collector, because trying to buy anything with any sense of regularity is impossible. And while I was in that Target, I found these. So when I went and saw these color changes with color reveal items, I don't know what the word is that you would use for this. There was another one there, not the whole series, but I believe there's a Kana as well. Although I'm interested to see whether, because this has Thomas on it, it actually is Thomas, and that's going to be something we're going to take a look at. But the reason I didn't pick more up is because of the price, and you know, this does appear to be the kind of thing which might be a bit of a one-time gimmick. I know we had similar things with the minis, and if you haven't seen my review of the minis item, there'll be a link in the description, and also I'll pop up in the corner. And I was, spoiler alert, not very impressed by the color change, water dissolve, reveal minis, particularly for the price point, and it'll be curious to see whether these, which are significantly more expensive, are going to be worth it. But there's only one way to find out. Let's do it. Alrighty, so you can get a better idea of what the packaging looks like. For reference, here is a standard push-along metal engine Thomas item, and you can see it's quite a bit larger than that. So what you get here is, you know, color changes with color reveal, 6 pieces apparently. We've got the engine, then we've got 2 wagons and a question mark as to what's inside. It says something in here, 1. So I think what happens is the first time you put it in warm water, it reveals the engine, and then you just have a quote-unquote standard color change engine. It does say Series 1, so interesting to see what that's about. Lots and lots of text. And then we come to the back, and we can see we get the little shed thing, we get the engine, we get 2 mysterious bags, and then it says Thomas on the back, so hopefully that does mean we are going to get Thomas. But yes, it's really interesting. I'm very curious to see what actually we do with all of this. So without waiting any further ado, let's crack it open. Okay, so this is what I managed to get out of the packaging when I opened it. You can see we've got these 2 baggies here, which are semi-transparent, and then we've got the tube, which looks like it does have a Thomas in it that's been coated in something. Anyway, that's going to be a bit of a mess. So we'll start first here with opening up these little bags. Oh, quite difficult to open. Okay, so that's 1. And that is 2. So you actually do get the wagons with the cargo on them. Now the cargo does appear to be removable. Yes, it is. So we'll have a quick look at the rolling stock. You can see here it is somewhat specialized, but I haven't got a lot of this rolling stock, so I don't know if there's other models that have these same little chassis, like bench flat pieces. The chassis are the same. We've got the brown wheels. We've seen a similar design before. We've got the Tomas and Friends logo on there, 2021. I quite like how it's got the cloud there, actually. These are pretty decent looking wagons, actually. They're a pretty decent size. I love the buffer detailing we've actually got there, which is nice. So you get 2 of those. You get 1 little T-Rex skeleton. I'm trying to see if it does anything. No. It doesn't move or anything like that. So you get that. And then you get this Triceratops head, which does, the open mouth opens and closes just a little bit, which, as you just saw, we can put onto the wagons like this. So dinosaurs. Yep, we've certainly seen that before in Thomas and Friends, and also in minis, as well as I think in All Engines Go themed merchandise. So it's certainly not the first time we've seen dinosaurs like this. Let's take a look then at the Thomas. So this is how much it looks like it's open. Okay, the lid just comes off. So you get this thing to keep forever, if that's something that you're into. And then we get this little blister with another bag. Oh, it's just bag central. Okay, and then we get Thomas here. Now, I really want to take a look at this before I got the stuff off it, it's very sticky. It feels like wet paint. You can kind of see Thomas's face through there. Yeah, it's really weird. I would love to know what this is. I'm trying to see. It's not really coming off of my fingers. His wheels are quite stiff. These ones are spinning, but the other ones I think have been like, oh, there we go. Got it to move. They've been like seized up because it just looks like this whole thing has been dunked in whatever that stuff is. Yeah, it's really odd. Really odd, and this clearly is meant to be the big reveal. You find out what you actually get inside. So I imagine it's going to be dino themed given the rolling stock, but let me go get some water and let's find out. Okay, so notice there was no other instructions in the box, which is kind of surprising given what we're dealing with here. And it just said put hot water on the box to put Thomas in. So I've got some hot water from the tap here. Let's see what happens. Is something happening? It is. Something is indeed happening. I don't know if I'm supposed to just let it sit there or I'm supposed to like agitate it around. That looks delicious. Oh. I'm starting to see something come through. Oh, it's getting all over my fingers. Ew. Okay, well we're just gonna let this sit here, and once it's finished dissolving, we'll come back. Okay, so you can see the ever-growing puddle there of the water that is leaking out of this Thomas. That was quite difficult. It took maybe 30 seconds to a minute for most of the yellow to come off, but you can see here some of it still has not gone. So it looks like it's almost stuck under the paint. So yes, I had to scrub, I was using soap, I was using lots of hot water, shaking it around, rubbing it, scrubbing, getting my fingernails under there to get it off the wheels. Yeah, I think they put that stuff on a little bit too thick. It certainly wasn't the seamless kind of fun experience that I think a kid would enjoy. I think they get quite frustrated. So you can see it's still all over the coupling. It's certainly an interesting concept, but I don't know how well it actually worked. In terms of the Thomas that we get out, great face, excellent, love that. I think it's almost the same as the one on the gold Thomas behind me, but it's got this, dirt scuff marks on there, which is fine. Again, the cars on the side, very nice, very vibrant, we like that. I think the dinosaur print is fun. You can see here it's kind of going from being all put together to all fallen apart. I think that's meant to be the one that came in the set. And then you get these excellent wheels. I think these wheels look fantastic. Love the colors there. Yeah, probably, again, there you go. You can see a bit more on the buffer beam at the back there that I hadn't got off. Probably could have been a little bit more exciting in terms of a color change, but for that purposes, let's go grab some ice water and we will see what happens when we dip him in that. And once I've dealt with this big mess that this has made. Thanks, Thomas. Okay, Ice Bucket Challenge Thomas at the ready. We've got him here. Let's see what happens. I previously remember the color change being quite quick on the other color change engines. Or not. I mean, for context, it is quite warm in Australia today. Probably the hottest day we've had since last summer. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Something is happening. Just gonna spin him around. Although I have to say, it's not what I was expecting. You can see again, like, the amount of time these take to change to the coal particularly is just, I don't want to say, obviously science, but it really shouldn't take this long for, a kid's toy to do this. They want to be able to dunk it in and keep playing. They don't want to have to deal with all this stuff. So we're just going to put some paper towel here for when Thomas comes out. All right, I think he's done. Let's take him out. Do this very briefly so we've got something dry to look at. Okay, so Thomas has gone bright brown. Okay, this is interesting. So the face has, again, they've used that same, it's got that pink color again. Oh, it's not focusing. There we go. which is interesting. What's so weird is this brown. Like, the fact that he's gone all brown. I don't really know the point of that. Why would you want a brown Thomas? Like, the other ones, I think, particularly the snow ones, I think was great. I really liked that. It was quite a big contrast going from the blue to the white. But going from a blue to a brown, it's just nowhere near as impressive. Yeah, does not seem to me like a good... And it also doesn't really make sense. Like, why is he brown? Is it because he's dirty and then he goes clean? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't understand. Look, you can see it's still leaving weird yellow residue. Yeah, look, I have to say I'm not super impressed. You're getting obviously all live reactions with this color change Thomas compared to some of the other ones. The Wave 2 color changes look excellent, but this one is just... It's not doing it for me. It is not doing it for me. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let's have some quick wrap up and final thoughts. Okay, so now time for the big price reveal. I paid 25 Australian dollars for this set. Now, the normal color change engines, I think, are about, if you buy them individually now, anywhere between $8 to $10 in Australia. The standard engines, just like the little tank engines like Thomas, are about $5 to $6. So this is, you could buy 5 normal Thomases with the money that you spent on this. You get, I suppose, if we say this is worth $10, then that means that they say this is a feature, but I don't know what anyone would ever use it for. You're paying then $15 for that, and that, which has no metal in them. They're all plastic. Yeah, I almost bought the Kana one, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to just buy Thomas first and see what it's like and see if I want to get the others. This has really not wowed me. The color change effect is not that great. The experience of trying to get off the weird reveal coating was not very great. The rolling stock's actually fine, and I'm generally supportive of more rolling stock in these ranges, given that how infrequently they're producing it. But for $25, I really wanted something that was going to wow me and excite me. And to me, if you want color change, just buy that 3-pack. Which is fantastic, and I reviewed very highly on my channel, which the review will also be popping up in the corner now. So as far as I'm concerned, you can absolutely give this one a skip, unless you really, really like dinosaurs, in which case maybe you are going to be interested. But otherwise, I'd love to know your thoughts on this one and whether or not you think it should continue. I know it says Series 1, so I wonder what Series 2 is going to be about, if it doesn't already exist. And of course, it just hasn't made its way to Australia because nothing ever does. But otherwise, that's all we've got time for. Thanks very much for watching. This is Extreme Trains.